But it's also just like the trauma of having her, you know, like the last moments. So sometimes I'll be thinking, like, those thoughts will come to my head and I'm like, I can't, like, I have to like shut it down real quick. Otherwise I know, like, because I'm like, I don't have time to like sit here and like be in these feelings, like when I have to do things, you know? And it's like,
I'm not going to be wearing... You going to grab your mic?
No. I don't want the mic today.
Well, I'm not going to be... Can you talk for me?
Hello, Aubrie, and welcome to the Impetuous Podcast.
Keep going.
Today, we're going to talk about random things.
How are you today, Jacqui?
I'm good. I'm good. Wait, are we filming?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
How are you?
I'm fine. I wanted to be productive this weekend and literally did nothing but sit by the pool, so...
Why did you want to be productive? Wasn't it you telling me the other day that you had so much going on that you needed a day for yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's like because I've been unemployed because I was laid off and I'm trying to like potentially open my restaurant and like maybe start an app. I don't know. I have all these ideas. I just feel like I need to be productive when I'm not being productive, if that makes any sense. So
I
it's
get
like,
that. Because you don't have a job, you feel like you need to be doing things to fill your time.
yeah, and it doesn't have to be like every second of the day, clearly, because I spent the whole weekend literally lounging by the pool. But it's just, I feel guilty because it's like, I need to make money, so I feel like I need to be doing things. And I do like contract stuff and like some other stuff where I make money, but it's like, is that better? Anyway, but yeah, so I just feel guilty and I feel like I should be productive at like every hour of the day, and then I overwhelm myself into not doing anything. So it's working for me. Mm-hmm.
I do that too sometimes, just because I don't have a job every day, to where my days off I feel like I need to be productive. So like I'll fill my time with the gym, or like I'll do the podcast editing, or I'll take Wiggy out for multiple walks, or I'll tell myself like I need to take a walk into Hoboken for whatever reason. But I too struggle with like finding things to do when I need to be doing. Like, do I need a day off? Maybe. Like, maybe I need a day off. You know what I mean? Sometimes I tell myself that.
I mean, you had a day off today.
But it's the weekend, so it's kind of doesn't count.
No, but you see, I, even with the weekend, I'm like, because at this point, it's like when you're unemployed, it's like every day is the fucking weekend. So it's like,
I don't see it as that.
For me, well, you're not unemployed.
But I am.
I mean, technically.
I'm like self-employed.
No, you're like in the entertainment industry, and like in that industry, yes.
No, I'm not in the entertainment industry. If I was in the entertainment industry,
you're in the...
This is the entertainment industry, baby.
But we are the entertainment.
We are giving the
industry.
entertainment. No, but for real, if I like, I'm not working every day. I'm self-employed technically. So like the fact that I even have one job a week or a few castings a week is like, thank you, Jesus Christ. Like, right. Lord is blessing
So, okay,
me.
fine. You're in the modeling industry, but like that type of work, modeling industry, entertainment industry, it's like once your job is over, you no longer technically have a job yet. So I get that. And that's definitely, I'm sure, a stressor because you just don't know when the next thing's going to happen.
Also, not to mention, a couple days ago, my agent literally told me that my career is going to be over in 10 years. And I was like, my jaw dropped and I was like, Tony,
modeling.
And then he was like, no, that's not what I meant. I just meant like you're gonna be in the entertainment business. I just see you doing the entertainment. And I was like, okay, well, can you tell me that my career is gonna be over in like 35 years, not 10? And he was like, you know what I meant. And I was like, I don't feel good about that.
She didn't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but listen, I think he backtracked.
He definitely was like, reel it back in.
He was like,
what have I done?
Oh no, I just mean you're gonna move on to bigger and better things.
But his wife is 50 something years old. She's been modeling basically her whole life, and she makes a ton of money. And She's 50 something. Like I was like,
she still models
I was like, Tony,
now?
can't I be like your wife? Yeah,
She
she
still
still
models now?
models. That's how she makes all her money.
I mean, yeah, you could be, or you could be in the entertainment industry or whatever. But I mean, who knows?
I will say, like, I'm still grateful that I'm making money.
No, of course. But that's what I'm saying. So, right, like but you are actively getting, what do they call it? Castings?
Yeah.
You're actively getting castings and like whatever. So, you know, like your agent is there for you.
Yeah, but I have to make sure that I'm emailing on like Mondays and Fridays to be like, hey, what does this week look like? Or what does next week look like?
Yeah.
So that I'm
yes,
on top
is,
of my shit. And by the way, not everyone does that in the modeling industry. There are models who sign at like 19 years old and then just like don't get any work, don't get any castings, and then wonder why they're not working. So like you do have to put in the effort.
Basically, you're saying you're like a better model than everybody else.
I mean, I don't look like every other model. I'm muscular as fuck, and
Okay,
I have
but you're
thick-ass
not
legs.
that muscular. Okay, you
I
need to
am.
stop
My
with the
legs
thick
are
legs.
thick. I have tree trunks.
We
for
love
legs.
a thick leg.
I have tree trunks for legs.
You fuck. Okay, I'm so done. Do not say that to me.
I do though. I've been insecure about them forever.
But you should not be.
Listen, one of the reasons I was depressed. Did you know that I was depressed yesterday?
Yeah, because you told me you were rotting in your house.
Okay, I was rotting. Let me tell you why. On Friday, I worked for a client, was walking around all over the city. Our first shot was in Soho. Second shot was somewhere else in Soho. Then we went to Brooklyn. Then we went to Fifth Ave. Then we went to, it was just a long day in the heat, working in fur coat, like just coats. We were shooting winter in the summertime.
Yeah, I know.
Okay?
I saw your little post, and that was exciting. But
Yeah,
anyway,
it was cute.
go on.
But the other model was beautiful, stunning.
Okay.
Let me finish. Let me just finish this.
I'm already done.
Stunning,
I'm already
stunning
done.
Legs. Her legs were like the
Wait,
perfect
you need to
model.
Stop with your legs. Okay, first of all, you are like the perfect specimen. Like, you're not so skinny that I'm like, wow, you need to eat. And you're not like,
But I want to be, wow, you need to eat.
ew, no, you should not want to be that.
I want to be that to excel in my career.
You're already excelling in your career. You get work all the time, just like you said.
No, I get work like once a week, if that.
But that's a lot.
There are some models who are working every day. There are some models who are working 3 times a week. I'm like,
okay,
here
well,
compared to the ones
how
that are
long
up
have you
here.
been doing it?
7 years.
Well, you'll get there. Okay, but listen, but you also don't just want to do modeling, right? Like, you want to get into the entertainment industry and you want to do
Yeah, but I
other
don't know
things.
if I want to do acting. Like, I took acting classes and I was like, I don't know if this is for me. I like improv. Improv is really fun. But also there's like still an intimidation that I have behind improv to where like I have to perform in front of people. Like, that's so hard. It's so hard to make people laugh. And that's what improv is all about. You want the audience to have a good time. You want the audience to laugh. You want them to be excited. You want them to think that their money was well spent on this show.
Yeah.
And that's so hard to do.
No, it is. But I mean, but at the same time, like, when people are going to like an improv show, I feel like they understand that maybe it's not going to be funny. Like, also though, I feel like when people go to like, I don't know what you're trying to do. I feel like when people go to, like comedy shows and like improv shows and whatever, I feel like it's like almost like you want to laugh, so you laugh at shit that like normally you'd be like, that's not funny.
Have you ever had an improv? Actually, let me take that back. When you did improv, did your teachers laugh at like everything?
No, I don't think so.
All of my 2 teachers that I had, they would always be laughing. Like, even if something wasn't really funny, it was like laughing for support. Like, it's almost as if they
ABL, always be laughing. Anyway, go on.
always be ABL, always be laughing. But it was like, improv is such a good space for like supporting one another and like finding the even most tiniest little piece of comedy you can. Either A, they're really good at fake laughing, or B, they're just supporting. Like, I can't tell.
But also, I feel like if you're an improv teacher, you probably are quick to a laugh, you know?
But like,
I'm
are they
not
laughing
quick to a
because
laugh.
it's funny?
People always, if I watch a comedy show, first of all,
I'm
I
not quick to a laugh either.
am told that I would be great at stand-up comedy, but
Wait, really?
yeah, people tell me that all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Are you a bitch? I love how I like bleeped out the bend. Anyway, you tell me I'm funny all the time, so don't even try and act like that on this little pod.
You're hilarious. Sometimes.
every second of the day. No. But no, people tell me that all the time. And like, because I used to do some like, just when I ruptured my Achilles tendon, long story short, I was staying at home at my parents' because I lived in Manhattan. I couldn't get into my apartment building because there were stairs. It was just too difficult, you know? So I stayed at home and I was really bored. So I just started, I don't know, making like Instagram stories about like just random nonsense
about
honestly.
How life is.
Like I'd be like,
someone
everyone
who has a ruptured Achilles.
Yeah,
Can you
kind
take
of.
those headphones off? Take them off.
Why are you not wearing yours? Why?
We can just hear each other better. That's better. Now tell me about your Instagram stories and how people thought you were so funny.
Does my hair look cray?
No.
I'm au natural today.
Does mine?
No. You have nice little clippies in there.
You want one?
No.
You don't want to match?
I'm not a clippy person.
I'm a clitty person.
She does love a clit. No. Okay.
Look at this tongue.
Okay. Now people are going to start asking for you to do like.
I am not gay. To do like what?
What's it called? The
corn?
No, like where do people post their feet pics? OnlyFans.
Got it.
They're gonna be like doing OnlyFans with that.
I have
tongue.
OnlyFans.
Anyway, what were we talking about?
No, I don't. Your Instagram stories and how you're so funny.
Oh,
I'm dying to know why people think you're so funny.
Okay, I don't like the tone of this podcast right now.
I'm getting very dry and judgmental right now, and
she's like,
it's because she was
carrying
late.
her.
It's because she was late.
Okay, I was not late.
She was so late.
I said I'd probably be there around 7:15.
Here's what happened.
We
were
set
down
up
at
my
the,
automatic litter
no.
box.
We
Okay.
were down at the pool, and I said, Jacqui, what time do you think for the podcast? And I said 7:30, and she said, let's do 7. And I said, okay, we'll do 7. And then I texted her at 6:30, and I said, you still coming? And she said, yeah,
Okay, but
I'm
she's
going to shower, and it's going to be more
neglecting to tell
around
you.
7:15.
Okay, she's
And
neglecting
then
to tell you that
didn't
she
get here
came
until
over to my apartment
7:35.
uninvited.
This bitch invited me to help her get her ice cream maker
I just
down
wanted
from
her to
above
reach
her
for
fridge.
the ice cream maker and
I'm
then
gonna
be like,
need
bye.
subtitles for these.
We don't care about that.
No.
No.
So
I
anyway,
was
tell me
joking,
about
but
how funny you
she
were.
neglected to say that she came over and hung out for a bit, and so I got distracted in a beautiful way.
I left at 5.
You left at like 5:30.
I left at 5:30. We were supposed to pod at
And
7.
then I had to go wash the litter box at the old litter box after I set up the new
here we go.
litter box.
I had to wash
And that was
this,
disgusting.
And I had to wash that.
Yeah, and then I had to wash my
shower,
body
and
after
then
I went
washed
to the
my
pool.
body, and then I had to dry my hair.
Are you mad that I'm a clean individual?
I'm upset.
You're not.
I am.
What were we talking about? You always
Your Instagram stories.
derail. Oh yeah. Anyway, so
I do.
I would just
derail.
post about like random shit that would happen in my day, which was literally nothing, and I would just like talk about it, and people would message me and say, "I literally watch your story like it's a Wednesday night sitcom," or
Yeah.
like people who I hadn't spoken to in like 10 plus years,
Right.
would be like, "You're the funniest person. Like, you need to have your own talk show or whatever." And so, but then I stopped posting them because then I get like, if all of a sudden I'm doing well, I get stressed out, and now I'm like, now I have to try to do well, and then I don't do well.
Yep.
I like psych myself out.
It's because the fact that you know people are watching puts that much more pressure on you to be like, okay, well, I want to talk about this story, but like all these people think I'm so funny, so like I have to make sure it's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I psych myself out, and then I'm like, okay, I can't do this. With like acting in general, like with a script, different because it's a script. I'm not the one creating.
A script for me is so much harder because you have to be somebody else. Like you have to not be somebody else, but you have to put yourself in the position of the role that the script is written about.
Yeah.
And in like if it's a scene about, you know, you're a cop or a detective and you have to find this guy. It's like I've never been a fucking cop. But I understand
true.
like you could switch it into the perspective of, okay, well, have you ever had a friend talk shit about you? And you had to find out what that friend was. I'm just using a bad example.
I know, but I hate that. That's not my like style of acting. I don't like honestly, that was like the acting school I went to was all about that. Like,
Which one?
I don't want to say, but
Can you say it and we'll bleep it?
huh?
Can you say it and I'll bleep it?
Okay.
Never heard of it.
New York City. It's like a well-known, and they have an off-Broadway theater, and like a lot of their shows go to Broadway. But their whole technique is about doing that, like finding like different tactics and stuff, which I believe in tactics, but like finding something that it's like, right? So, okay, maybe I've never been in this situation, but what is it like? And then how do I...
That's how my acting classes were
And
for
I
the most
didn't
part. It was like
that.
You are not separate from the character that's in this script. You are that character.
Yeah.
So you have to find a feeling or a way to relate to this character in order to feel that feeling, to
Right.
get it to relay out into the audience.
I think for me, it's easier to just say, okay, how would I personally react in this situation? And how would my character react in this situation? And then go from there. Like, I don't like pretending it's like some other... Because, like, my character might react to something entirely differently than I would.
Right. It's all about the director and what the director sees, right?
Right. So if the director really wants me to be like one way, so you have to be able to adjust, right? But if I have my head stuck in this way of being like, well, I was imagining it was like this and that's how I would react, then I'm not really able to like adjust, right? It makes it harder. So for me, it's like you're creating this character and you can take real life examples. Like real life helps me when it's like, I have to do something sad or I have to really get into a mindset where I'm going to need to cry, like that something in my life can trigger that, but it's not like...
One of the last classes that I had, actually the last class that I had, I think I stopped taking because I didn't feel... The scene that we did, it was like I was flirting with this other character who was a male. And my teacher kept being like, Aubrie, this isn't what you would do. Like, if you were into this person, this isn't what you do. And I kept thinking to myself, and I even remember telling him, like, this is what I would do. So I don't know what you want from me, but like, if this is your philosophy of teaching, that it is me who is the character, I'm like, that's what I would do. And he's like, well, I don't believe you. And I'm like, that's not my problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing with acting. It's like, it's subjective and like,
And that's why I wouldn't get the part. If he were the casting director,
but
he wouldn't have liked that.
And that's why you can't take shit like that personally, because it's like, it's all depending on what they want and what they're looking for. And like,
and also it was almost as if he wanted everyone to react the same way. So like each different people would go up in front of the class, like a male and a female, and do the scene in front of everybody. And so then like everybody was just doing the scene the same. They sounded the same.
That's
their
so
cadence was the
boring.
same. Yeah. It was just like,
no, and that's like dumb.
We're
Because
all
like
different.
everybody's different.
Yeah,
And that's not
like-
realistic. And like, I get that too, though. In my acting classes, sometimes like this one teacher would always be like, would make it so hard when I chose my like, whatever they called it in the technique. When I chose my things and I was acting that out, they'd be like, I don't feel like that's it. And I'm like, well, this is what the thing is. And it was always, and then I'm like, now I'm standing here thinking about, am I doing my action correctly based on this freaking list you made me write?
right.
Instead of actually getting into the moment and being with that other person and like acting and responding, right? And it was just like kind of frustrating to me. But like, I think that's the thing when you take acting classes, like you're supposed to just kind of like
Take it with a grain of salt.
you're supposed to take different things that work for you and different things and put them all together. You're supposed to have like a box of things. It's not just like the one, you know?
Yeah. I also had a really hard time being serious. I was laughing all the time in class, always getting my scene partner to laugh, not on purpose, but out of awkwardness. Because like we would be staring at each other and like one person, I remember this kid, he said one of the lines wrong or whatever, and in my scene it didn't say what, but I was like, what? And then even the audience, like my classmates started laughing and my teacher started dying laughing because that wasn't what it was about. But I would always like find things at the right moment that wasn't in there, or like make weird eye contact with somebody that would make them laugh. And I'd be like, fuck, like I feel uncomfortable. This doesn't feel right or real.
But see, that's the thing with, right? So like, and you're touching on something with acting. People think, oh, what, like, I mean, acting is difficult and you really have to be vulnerable. Like everything up there is you being vulnerable because you're doing things that there's a ton of people watching you and you're just doing all these crazy things. And if you're not comfortable with it, you might do that, right? You break character, you whatever. But you have to like let all that go and just like be and do whatever it is. Like I was watching a video of Benedict Cumberbatch like filming as Smaug the dragon in The Hobbit, and like he's like on the floor doing all this crazy stuff in his little suit thing because it's CG, right? And all these people are watching, and he can't have any shame in what he's doing, and nobody's gonna judge him for it because it's literally what he's supposed to do. But when you feel that uncomfortable, you have to like let that go, and that's a hard thing to do.
It's a lot easier for me to let go of that comfortability in real life when like my friends are around me.
Yeah,
but when I'm in front of a bunch of fucking people I don't know.
Over to our other friend's house today and sang made up songs to her for a half an hour this morning. I feel like different. That's true.
I do that out of pure entertainment for myself.
Yeah, but a lot of people wouldn't do that because it's like it makes them weird and vulnerable. It's like a different thing to do, but it's like beautiful. Love that. I think it's hilarious. But that's what I'm saying though. Like you just said that you can let go easier in real life.
Like, I wonder if celebrities have this, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I wonder if celebrities have this, like...
Je ne sais quoi. No, I'm just kidding.
No, what is it? Like, everybody knows who they are. So, like, they can do whatever they want because like, everybody knows this celebrity. So it's like, no one's going to judge me for it because they know that this is what I do. But when you're, like, just starting out acting and you're just first going to class, like, you're going to classes for the first time, like... I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. And people will sit here and say, yeah, but the teachers will sit here and say, like, just let it go and be comfortable and be okay being vulnerable and don't be shy.
Improv classes.
And I was still uncomfortable.
Did you ever do zip, zap, frickin' zop?
It's just zip, zap, zop.
That's all you guys did?
Zap, zop. Yeah.
The whole time.
And then other things, but.
No, but in zip, zap, zop, that's all you did was zip, zap, zop?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, when I did it in my classes, it was like, they always wanted us to build, like, yes, end it, right? So if...
We did some of that, too.
No, it got to the point where it was, like, I'd be, like... I feel like I need to, like, stand for this. But you're not going to be able to hear me.
I think I'll hear you.
What?
I'll hear you.
No, like, they won't be able to
They'll hear it.
Will they?
If you scream it.
Oh, sure. Let me just... The top of my lungs. No, but it would be, like... So somebody would start...
Like, ooh! Zap.
Yeah, like crazy stuff, right? So it'd be like, somebody would start it off, right? And some people could start off being like, zip, and then you'd be like,
zap.
But you want to build on it, right?
Oh.
So that's like this,
zap.
Yeah, right. And so you keep going, and then it got to the point where we'd be like on the floor, and I'd be like, zip,
no,
and I'd be like, zap, and like jumping around, and like that. I swear on my life, it was so intense. Like I'd be like literally jumping in the air and like. Doing the wackiest stuff.
No one ever did that.
But that was what my teacher was. It was always like, yes, and build on it. Build on it. Make it your own.
Yeah.
It was like, take it and like respond to it and make it your own. And so like, zip, zap, zop got so crazy. So it's like.
I will say though, now that you're putting me in the place of improv where we used to do silly warm-ups like that, because zip, zap, zop never turned into that for me. We did other ones that we got like crazy. But I remember after doing the warm-up feeling like, okay, I can do whatever I want.
Anything. I can do anything.
And feel comfortable around these people because they've seen the weirdest things out of me.
They've seen me do the weirdest stuff that nobody would ever do. Yeah, exactly. And so like, and I think that's why you do like acting. It's really to take you out of your head.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you do those things. It's not like, I mean, like drama and acting, like warm-ups and stuff are really freaking weird, but that's because it's trying to get you out of your head. Even when you do like that thing we did on the last podcast or whatever, where we tried to say the same word, like that was an acting warm-up for me. But that's because it gets you, you're supposed to just say whatever comes to your mind, and it's supposed to get you out of your head to stop overthinking and just react, you know?
I had a friend in one of my classes tell me, he went to an acting school. It was a more intensive acting school. It was like 5 days a week, maybe. He told me that one of the exercises that his teacher had the class do in front of each other was, I want you to be the most vulnerable you have ever been in your life in front of everyone. Do with that information what you will. I'll give you a night to think on what you can do to make yourself be the most vulnerable you've ever been in the entire class. Can you take a guess at what everyone in the class ended up doing?
I don't know, getting naked.
Mm-hmm.
That's so
they
interesting.
They all got naked in front of each other, he said. And then he said one of them went so far as to start masturbating in front of everyone. That's a little too far.
But that's like, you have to do whatever you're comfortable with.
Are you kidding?
You don't have to do that. That's not like.
But then I'm like.
But there's a lot of actors who don't do nudity and don't do stuff like that.
that's also kind of like, isn't that like sexual assault?
Not if you all were like consenting to it.
I mean, that's true. I just think like.
Don't take it to sexual assault. Did he sound like he felt like he was abused?
No, I just think that's too far.
Yeah, and if it's too far for you, that's okay. Like, but obviously it wasn't too far for those people because they all had the same idea and did the same thing.
Well, we haven't talked to all of them. I talked to one of them.
But like, to be honest, I think like getting naked is less it's like vulnerable, yes, but I feel like it's less vulnerable than doing something like emotionally vulnerable.
I get naked in front of people every time I'm at the job.
Well, yeah.
Everyone has seen my tits. Everyone has seen my pussy. It's nothing new. Would I strip down at the pool? No.
Well, no. But I'm saying, like, would you rather, if you had a choice where you had to, like, bare your soul or show your naked body?
I had one of those classes that I was talking to you about because there was, like, 4 classes that you could pay for, or 6 classes. I can't remember. It was, like, $210 for 4 classes or 6 classes, something like that. And one of the classes in the scenes he gave us to practice and do in front of the class was to break down and cry. You had to do the scene where you break down and cry because your best friend just overdosed on accident or something like that. And I went last, and it was so easy for me to cry.
That's
so
good.
I
it's hard
turned
for
it
a
on
lot
like
of
that.
actors.
But like, as vulnerable as it was, A, it felt good. B, there was a part of me that knew it was coming because I could feel it building up even before the class. I'm like, he wants us to cry. Like, this is a nerve-wracking scene. I'm already there. As soon as I get the words out of my mouth, I'm gonna cry like that. Like, it was so easy. And I literally bawled like a baby. Like, I was like nose dripping, like snot, just like wiping away my tears. But I don't think I would feel comfortable if my teacher was like, this scene, you have to take off your clothes. You know?
Yeah, but that's different, right? Like, if you're choosing to do it and somebody's telling you to do it are two different things. But I mean, like, but that's also not.
But our teacher did tell us. He straight up told us because half of the class had already gone.
But you're doing a made up scenario where you have to cry. That's different. If you had to bare your entire soul, the things that were most vulnerable about you, yourself, and what you think about, and like who you are, that's different.
I feel like I'm such an open book that it's not.
Okay.
You don't feel that way?
That you are an open book? Or
No, that it's hard for you to open yourself up that way.
No, I feel like I talk about things, but getting down to the deep stuff is like I feel like, yes, we're all very open, and it's not like if I were to sit with you and have like a real chat, and like, not that we don't have real chats, but you know, like we got into like a conversation about deep things, I would tell you things fine, but like I don't think but I trust you, right? Like, I'm not going to just tell like any random person. I don't want everybody to know all those inner deep things, insecurities and,
right,
you know, sadnesses and like whatever it might be. Yeah. And at the end of the day, your body's a body, whereas like that stuff is you. That's what makes you you. I don't know. I really don't know what I would be more
What do you mean that stuff makes you you? Like your body makes you you versus your mind?
Your mind makes you you.
Okay, got it.
And I just feel like as you get older, like everyone has so many different like traumas, and I mean, maybe not everyone, but like people I know like have so many different traumas and things that have happened to them.
A lot of people I know too.
Wow. We just love people with trauma. What's it called? But I don't remember what I was saying.
You're talking about everyone has their different traumas, and like I think you were gonna say like it's more normal that for I don't know. I actually don't know what you were gonna say.
Why aren't
we done yet?
Why aren't you my friend enough to know what I was going to say?
Good question.
No, but
I wasn't paying attention.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't paying attention at all.
I mean, clearly you were, though, because you knew what I said and I didn't even know what I said.
Right. No, I was paying attention.
But no. Traumas. Yeah, everybody has different traumas and different things, and I feel like that brings up a lot, you know? Like, when you actually talk about those things.
Yeah. I guess I'm not so much ashamed. That's not true. I can't say that. There are things that I'm ashamed about that I don't feel comfortable sharing with everyone. So I guess I see what you're saying.
But why? I don't. Okay, well, let's unpack that in a bit. But I don't even mean that it's stuff that you're ashamed about, right? Like, I
guess I don't mean ashamed. I just mean they are things that I don't feel comfortable sharing, which makes me feel ashamed because I don't want to be vulnerable with those parts of my life with everybody.
Yeah. Okay, fine.
So that's where the word ashamed comes from, because I'm ashamed to tell certain people.
Right. I still don't like the word ashamed
to tell certain people, but I am ashamed to tell everyone else. That's what I meant to say.
Why the word ashamed, though? That means, like, I feel like that means that you look badly. You think badly about yourself.
So I think that's why I was saying, like, maybe not ashamed. I guess I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but I'm using the word ashamed because I don't feel comfortable telling everybody. Sorry, I was looking at a cord that has a white thing, and I was like, is that broken or is that? But never mind.
You had to do all that to see that?
I'm not wearing my contacts. Ashamed isn't the right word. I guess it could be embarrassed or nervous or uncomfy.
Yeah, I think it just seems like you're uncomfortable to talk to certain people about certain things. But, like, when you think about those parts of yourself, are you like...
No, I think ashamed is a good word, actually. Because there are some parts of my life where I do feel ashamed.
I get that. I don't think you should, but everybody makes mistakes. Everybody does
Everybody
stuff.
makes mistakes. Everybody has those days. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. Everybody has those days. Yeah! Sometimes I'm in a jam. I gotta make a plan. Actually, we might get demonetized. Kidding. I don't have money on YouTube yet. Like and subscribe right now if you want to see more. So, Jacqui.
I was speechless.
What's your deepest, darkest secret?
I don't know.
I'll tell you a deep, dark secret.
Sure. Tell me and all the viewers. Wiggle.
You see my dog?
This is not going to be a deep, dark secret. Okay, go on.
We fuck.
Ew. What is wrong with you?
My baby. No, we don't fuck. All the time.
God. Wiggle, do you need to be taken away from your mother?
No, so a few years ago, he ran away from me in Montauk. Have I told you the story?
No.
So I went for a run, and my friends were supposed to watch Wiggy in a house. This has to do with my deep secret, by the way. It's pretty dark, actually.
Figured.
It is a deep, dark secret.
Is it?
Yes.
That you feel comfortable telling the world?
Yeah, I am comfortable telling the world because I'm sure it's in somewhat shape or form a little relatable. So my dog Wiggy ran away from me in Montauk. Mm-hmm. And before he ran away, there was a part of me that felt in some ways my life would be easier without a dog. There was always that, like, I could be traveling more, I could be doing more things with my friends, and I always have to worry about my dog. And, like, not that this sucks, but it was like, this sucks. Sometimes it sucks. Did you just fucking hold in a yawn again?
Okay, can I not be a human being?
Hold in a yawn. Just yawn.
I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning. That's very early for me.
Why? What were you doing at 7?
My cats were being psychotic. They've been psychotic all day, and they were just like sprinting around fighting with each other, but like on me, and it just didn't need to happen that way.
That sucks. Mm-hmm. You know what sucks even more? That my dog almost ran away from me in Montauk 3 years ago. Now, can we get back to my story?
He was probably trying to run to you.
No, that's exactly what he was doing. I went for a run, and he doesn't like anybody else. As you can see, he's by my side all the time. I let him off the leash.
He was literally just by my side. But anyway, go on.
Forgot about that there. I can let this dog off leash, and he will not run away from me. Like, him and I have a special bond that no one can break, okay?
They do.
So anyway, I do believe he was trying to look for me because he was scared of the people in the house. They weren't the most responsible. They left the door open, and he ran out. And in the moment that I got the phone call that Wiggy was gone, I literally had so much guilt. Like, I just got what I asked for, and this is not what I want. Like, I immediately felt regret for ever feeling the way that I had ever felt, because I was like, this is the love of my life. Like, the thing that gets me out of bed in the morning, the thing that brings me joy without even doing anything but a single look to me. Like, he's just such an like, look at him. He's so fucking look at him. You're so perfect.
Wiggle.
He's such a good boy, and I love him so much.
Wiggles.
So anyway, that's my deep dark secret. That at one point in time, I did think to myself, life would be easier without a dog, but now,
Is that
I don't
your
think
deepest, darkest secret?
Okay, fine. I started at the age of 3.
No, I'm just saying that I don't think that's that bad for a secret. Like, because here's the thing. I feel like everybody goes through that when there's something that they're like responsible for, right? Like, I'm sure there are parents who feel guilty because they've thought how much easier life would be without their kids. And
do you feel that way about your cats?
These cats right now, I haven't, but that's because like my cat. So I got my cat when I was in college, and it wasn't like planned, my first cat. And I was young.
It's like never the first pet. I swear it's never planned.
Yeah, I know. Like, it just comes into your life. Yeah. But it wasn't my first, and it wasn't planned, and it just happened. And then there were times where I was like, why did I do this? Like, life would be much easier without the cat. But obviously I loved her to death, and that would never happen. But yeah, for sure. There were times I wanted to travel or go live abroad, and I was like, how am I going to do this with my cat? And I think that's also us like putting limitations on it, right? We see all these Instagram accounts now, and I feel like they travel everywhere with their pets. They do think they make it work, right? And like, that's what I'm trying to do with my new cats. But I haven't thought that with them because there was such a void in my life after my cat passed last year. Because I had her for 15 years since I was like 19 years old, and that, I don't know, things just felt like empty. Like, I remember the first time I was alone in my apartment without her, and I like texted our friend Katie, and I was like, it feels so weird, like, it was just like having a living thing around all the time was like,
you're like best friend.
Yeah, and she was
the
always,
thing that was always
I never
there for
like
you.
Didn't have, like, I never didn't have her, so it was like weird to all of a sudden not. And like, not that these guys have replaced her, but I fostered them, and at first I was very overwhelmed by them because they're super psychotic orange cats. And I was like, why did I do this? This was a mistake. I'm like, they're too, and I was also really depressed still from like losing my cat and like whatever. But eventually they like weaseled their damn way into my heart after having them for 6 months that I foster failed and adopted them. And now I feel like they've taught me a lot more like patience, and honestly, because they're just crazy. So it's like, I just have to have that patience now with them. And it's like, I don't get super annoyed anymore about the annoying things they do. And they've taught me a lot, and they're so like loving, and it's nice to have. And it's not the same obviously as my other cat, but it's a new love that's filled that like void. So I feel like I haven't had that thought with them necessarily, but I do want to potentially live abroad. And so I think sometimes I'm like, ugh, I got these cats, and like, how am I going to live abroad?
Can't you just ask your parents to watch them?
Just one second, everybody. Did Aubrie just yawn?
Let's swipe back to it.
Ugh, I got these cats. I'm like,
this MF. Are you chewing gum?
No.
Do people want to hear that in the mic? Ew, don't put that on your body. You're disgusting. Yeah, but then I also think I'm like, okay, but that's me letting my anxiety take over. If I really want to move abroad, I will find a way to bring my cats abroad, right? Like, and so we just have to think about it. Actually,
where do you want to move?
I mean, I'd love to live in either like England or Spain. But do you hear about that airline? I think I sent this to you. There's like a new airline for dogs or something.
Yeah. Do you know how expensive it is to travel?
I'm sure. Wait, what?
Thousands
on
of dollars.
that airline?
Yes, thousands of dollars.
well, let's get rich and then we can
Yeah.
travel with our pets. I'm like,
Let's get
first of
sugar
all,
daddies.
why are they freaking racist? And why is it only about dogs? And why can't cats be involved?
I'm sure cats could be involved.
I mean, maybe. But
I have a question for you.
What?
Would you ever get a sugar daddy?
I mean, at this point in my life, yeah.
Really?
Why not? If I don't have to
Say that to the camera.
Why? I would. If you guys want to pay for me to be your friend or whatever.
You mean fuck buddy?
I mean, but sometimes that's not what it is. Like sometimes people don't want that.
Would you fuck? This
It
is
really
your
depends.
application.
It depends on the person.
Would you openly have a sugar daddy? Or would you keep it discreet?
You know, honestly, with this in this day and age with this freaking economy and like everybody's struggling, I think like people would be jealous if I had a sugar daddy paying for my stuff. So I would not keep it discreet.
Can I tell you something? I knew someone who had a sugar daddy.
Were you jealous?
I'm trying to be cautious with how I say this.
Were you judgmental?
No, I'm trying to say this in a way to where this does not say who she is, because I would never want to out her like that, because I think she's a very good person.
Wait, does having a sugar daddy make you not a good person?
No, what at the time made her, to me, in my eyes, where this is me being judgmental, where I felt that she wasn't a good person was that she had a boyfriend, she had a fuck buddy who was somewhere, and then she had a sugar daddy. So she was playing all fields.
But wait, did the boyfriend know about the other
No.
things? Okay, well then that makes it not cool.
And I can't even tell you this on the pod. It'll give away who she is, and I don't want to do that.
Who would know?
I have friends who watch the pod.
Okay. Way to kill the
Let's just say
vibe.
the sugar daddy was paying her rent, and I had to make money to pay my rent. So I was very upset when she would come with her nails done and her fake tan and new clothes. And I was fucking working my ass off to pay rent. That was like nothing now. I was so jealous.
Yeah,
I was like,
clearly.
if only I sold my fucking pussy, I could make so much money.
I mean, listen, people make so much money for less. Like, sell your feed pics. Rent paid.
I don't want to do that though.
You know, it's so interesting. People
Because
feel
then
so
people
strongly
get
about it.
weird.
But what's weird about it? It's your
There are
feed. It's
some-
literally not even like...
I've just heard that you have to do other things. You have to communicate with them, text with them, send videos sometimes. They ask for more, and then it just gets weird. Or sometimes I've heard that they didn't give the payment to you, and then you just gave a picture of your feet. Bitch, why do you think I'm wearing socks? People on YouTube are like, more
I
feet,
know.
please.
No, I know, but what I don't know. I don't really know the ins and outs of feed pics, but I just feel like if people could be making like $40K a month on that, worth it.
If I was making $40K a month on that, all right, audience, listen up. If
I'll
you
text you
want
all
to pay,
day.
let me know in the comments how much money you are actually willing to pay for feet pics, and maybe I will. But I ain't giving them for free. Anyway, you said you wanted to interview me, and I'm quite interested in what
It
you
was
actually...
just like a random thought. I feel like I need to
The time
prep
has
for
passed?
that. Yeah.
Got it.
No, I need to prep. It'll be like the next step. Because then we'll switch seats. I'll sit there and you sit here.
This is my good side.
Wow.
And that's
you
the
don't
hot
care
seat.
about my good side at all.
I do.
Yeah, but then you always pan out with that sucker
That's the
over there, and I
widescreen.
look like atrocious
No, you don't.
every time.
No, you don't.
Every
Also, by the way, when you have a widescreen like that, it sets a different tone for the podcast. And it's good to have multiple different angles to keep the viewer's attention. So tell me a secret.
When people ask me that, I feel like I don't ever know what to say.
You could say something like, my pussy has a mole on it.
Why do you always go to pussy?
I don't know.
Like
I
real
think
quick to a pussy.
I don't know. That's just, it's because of Nickelodeon,
I'm
to be
not-
honest with you.
I'm not judging you for it. We love a pussy, but
Sex is just an easy joke for me. I don't know why. Sex parts are easy jokes for me. Dicks. Oh, did I tell you the other day an interaction I had?
Wait, before we do that, let's go back to Nickelodeon.
Okay. Did you watch Quiet on Set?
No. What is that?
It's the documentary.
You looked so shocked. Wait, a Nickelodeon documentary?
Yeah. Dan Schneider.
Oh, I think I did hear about this recently.
Yeah.
I'm not a documentary person, honestly.
It was really good. I watched it just because I grew up on Nickelodeon. And it's basically about how Dan Schneider made a lot of adult jokes in all of his Nickelodeon shows, and even went so far as to like create phallic shapes on some of the clothing that the kids were wearing, and do like weird squirts of gel on the kid's face that looked like a cum shot, and that's what someone on set said. Oh, that looks like a cum shot. He had a foot fetish. And there was like a video in Victorious of Ariana Grande squeezing a potato and going, oh, I have to get all the juice out of it. It was really weird. There's just a lot of weird things going on. And Dan Schneider claims that like kids thought it was funny, but also like, did adults think this was funny, or did adults think this as something sexual? Because that's what you're doing when adults are watching this. At least that's what the kids were saying. So, sexualizing children is what he was doing.
Yeah.
Sad. So I said...
So that's why you're quick to a pussy?
That's why I said I'm quick to a pussy, because I grew up on Nickelodeon. They sexualized me.
Okay.
So I had an interaction the other day, and this happens quite often when I'm in the elevator. I don't know why. I have word vomit. Or my agent calls it a form of Tourette's whenever I'm in the elevator.
Wait, why does your agent know about this?
Because the day after it happened, I went to the agency and I told them what had happened, because I was so in awe of myself and shocked that those words came out of my mouth. Zach was there, actually. Zach had just gotten off the bus or something. And him and I went for a walk. I don't know. Something happened. We got in the elevator and there was this guy in there. Third floor dings. This guy walks in and he's holding eggs. Just to paint you a picture, it's me, Zach, and another guy. The guy is holding eggs. And I said, eggs. And he said, yes, eggs. Okay? Yes, eggs. Why did I say eggs? I don't know why. He confirmed, yes, they were eggs. So clearly, obviously, I felt like he was talking to me like my teacher or something. Like, yes, eggs, very good. Then I said, what are you going to make with your eggs? And he was like, I don't know, maybe some hard-boiled eggs I think I'm going to make. And as he was saying that, I said to him, I have eggs in me right now. And he was like, he was like, what? And I was like, I have eggs in me right now. I'm ovulating. And he was like, oh, okay. And then I got a little quiet. And then I said, it's actually really goopy down there.
What? Why did you keep going?
I don't know.
Like when
no one else was saying
clearly
anything.
uncomfortable.
No one else was saying anything.
Because you're in an elevator and it's like an unspoken rule to not speak in the elevator.
But I was with Zach.
But you weren't talking to Zach.
But I was waiting for him to like chime in.
Zach was probably like, there's no saving this.
Zach did say something at the end, but my floor...
And Zach literally can talk about anything and he was silent. So what does that tell you?
But so I got out of the elevator and I said, good luck with your penises, boys. And then went to my apartment. And then Zach said something, and then the other guy was like, that's really good. Who was the
guy? I need to know.
His name is Dan.
No, I don't know who that is. Anyway, go on.
That was it. So those are the types
Wait,
of
what
things.
did Zach say at the end?
I can't remember. I'll have to ask him what he said. But the guy that was in the elevator, he laughed at Zach and said, that was really good. And I left thinking, that was really good. Why didn't anything I just said was really good? And then I saw him a few days later because I was going to look at a different apartment and he was outside. And I said to him, I'm really sorry about the other day. And he's like, oh, that's fine. And then Josh said,
are you mad because I yawned? Okay, we've been up all day. We were in the sun. We're both tired. You yawned too. Don't you dare.
I yawned because I can't
Pot
breathe.
calling the kettle.
I yawned because I can't
No,
breathe.
that's not true.
You yawned while I was in the middle of a fucking
You
story.
yawned when I was talking.
How dare you? How?
I'm done.
My plant? Not the soil.
Oh, wait,
You.
It went much farther than I thought it was gonna go.
First she's late, then she yawns twice at me. No, first she inhales a yawn. She holds the yawn in, then she yawns. Then she ruins my fucking plant. If you want to fight me, if you want to fight me,
You would lose. We've talked about this.
if you want to fight me, I could show you.
Show me
good.
what? I'm trained in
good.
jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai.
I'm good at punching.
I'm good at punching, kicking.
I'm good at dodging.
Takedowns.
I'm good at dodging.
I don't know.
I'll duck.
You're really long. I feel like I could get you.
No, I just keep my arms to my side really tight, and then I dodge like that. So you really can't hit a limb. But my punches, my arms are so long, I'm like Miss Incredible.
Yeah,
where
and
I'd
then I
punch
would
you and it'd go.
No. You just go and I'd go underneath it.
And
I'd
while
come
you
back
were
with a kick.
going underneath it, I went for an uppercut.
Oh yeah, who do you think you are?
Muhammad Ali.
Wonder Woman?
Muhammad Ali.
No,
Yeah.
no, absolutely not.
Who do you think you are?
Jacqui Bellan.
Good one. Because we all know Jacqui Bellan. Who the fuck is that?
Don't do that.
Don't do what?
You're not funny. Wait, what were we talking? Okay, you need to talk. Why did you?
No, and then I saw him the other day and I said, I'm sorry for what I said. And he said, oh no, it's fine. And then Josh said, what happened? And I said, and then he
did
said,
you repeat it?
Josh said, no, I didn't, thankfully. Josh said, what happened? And Dan said, she just made a joke in the elevator the other day. And I said,
Aw.
it wasn't a joke. I really was ovulating. And then it got silent. And it was
Why you
3
do
guys
that?
and me. And then Josh started bursting out laughing. And I just felt like, thanks for breaking the awkward silence with a gestured laugh, sir.
Gestured laugh?
Like it was like a gesture to laugh. Like I'm doing this for you. Like that is so funny. Like fake. Like I'm doing this to make it everyone comfortable. Like how I've been doing for you the entire podcast.
Okay, I don't know. Why are you attacking me today?
I thought we were improving.
Was that improv?
It was. Did I hurt your feelings? Actually? Because
You
I didn't
did.
mean to and I apologize.
I literally have nothing in my life and I'm just that I'm funny. And you take it away from me.
Jacqui, you know I think you're hilarious. I've just been jabbing because I'm hoping for the jabs back.
I don't have to even do this fucking podcast.
You're right, you don't. And you're doing me a huge favor by doing this podcast for me.
Anyway, you know I'm
Jacqui,
joking.
keep going.
I don't
want
want
to do a
do they really?
bit.
Do they need to see us fake
Yes,
talk?
they love it. People love bits. Trust me. Have you watched Howie Mandel's podcast?
No.
You should. It's hilarious. The
Cool.
episode with Howie Mandel and Sal Vulcano today actually came out 4 days ago. All they're doing is trying to figure out if it's real or not. Is what is happening right now real? Sal keeps saying. And it's so funny because they just keep doing bits back and forth. I was on the treadmill laughing while running. It was so funny.
Aubrie, I don't give a fuck.
Do you hate me?
No?
Why did you laugh and then hesitate and then say no? I've been dying to get Jacqui to improv with me, and she just won't. The last episode is almost pathetic how hard I begged her to improv with me, and she didn't want
About
to.
something dumb.
What was it about?
I don't remember.
Baby talk.
Yeah.
Oh, are you upset?
I mean, if you need me to improv with you in baby talk, I can, but
I don't need you to do anything. I have it all figured out. All of it. I don't need help. I don't even ask for it. I have everything I need right here. In these 2 hands. My titties.
your titties don't fit in your 2 hands. Oh, goodness. But it's okay.
Yes, they do.
Okay, yeah, they do fit, but like
I have to squeeze
they don't
them
like
to fit.
fill your hands. You can't like
Okay, you don't.
you
I
can't,
have
like,
big
hold
hands though.
them.
Look,
Like I go like this and I can't see my hands under my breasts. Like right now I can't see my hands.
I can.
You can see my
I can
hands.
see yours.
But can you see yours?
No.
Listen, everybody has different beautiful
I'm a part of
chests.
the itty bitty titty committee.
We love an itty bitty titty.
I wish I had bigger boobs. My mom's getting a boob job and I'm kind of jealous.
Like she's increasing the size.
She's also lifting them because she had 3 kids.
Yeah, that's fair. I've seen what can occur.
You've showed me what can occur. We call that a pancake tit.
It's rough.
It's scary what happens after a woman gives birth and breastfeeds. It's petrifying.
What are you, a raccoon?
I was petrified.
I know, but I just pictured like driving down the street and my headlights at night, seeing a raccoon and it being like, you know?
No.
I've
actually never drove down a road and saw a raccoon in the headlights.
Yeah.
Would you say
I don't know if I've seen that very often either, but I don't even know if I've ever seen that.
Have you
But
ever
it's
hit a
just
deer? Oh my God. You want to know what my driver told me the other day?
Driver, like Uber driver?
No, my driver, the client that I worked for on Friday rented a van and the guy driving the van was driving us around the city.
Okay.
So that we could shoot in multiple places. This man told me that when he was 19 years old, he was driving 120 miles per hour on his motorcycle, hit a deer, and survived.
I don't understand motorcycles.
I don't either. Rest in peace to my papa.
Yes.
He died from cancer.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. He died on a motorcycle.
Why are you so fucking ridiculous?
He died on a motorcycle, but rest in peace. I don't understand motorcycles either. You want to know what he also told me? Here's the tea. And if you've made it this far, be lucky because this is some fucking tea. Do you know Jeffrey Epstein?
Mm-hmm. Personally.
Get the fuck out.
No. What? Why would you believe that? Go on.
I trust you.
Oh, is that what it is, Aubrie?
I trust
now you trust me?
Okay, well, now I don't.
Oh,
With
it's
that
that quick to
attitude?
lose your trust?
It feels like it is. Yeah, you're just... Look
Oh,
at the
so we're not
attitude
really
you're-
friends.
I guess not, if that's how you want to
If
put
you
it.
quickly like that...
I'm
are just like,
bipolar.
okay, I trust you, and then you're like, oh, no, I don't.
I'm bipolar. I live in North and South Pole, okay? I have to go between hot and cold all the time.
By choice.
It's a disease.
Oh, yeah, between North and South, hot and cold all the time.
Have you ever been to the North Pole?
First of all,
It's
pole and
incredible.
pole is cold and cold, FYI.
I'm talking about the travel in between, going from the North Pole to the equator. Hello, hot,
You
hot
can't say
to the
pole
South
to pole.
I said like this. I didn't go this to this to this to this
But
to
it's
this to this.
cold and then to cold.
Ugh, Jacqui, you just don't get what it's like to be in my brain.
Yeah.
Do you know what it's like in
because
my
your
brain? Do you know
is
what it's like
just
in my brain?
A jumble ping pong machine.
No, in
Ping
my
pong
brain
machine.
it's literally like
pinball machine.
"Yay!" And then it's like back to "Yay!" Did you not see me today? I was on a rocket. And then I got so tired.
A rocket going where? Like what was the rocket? Rockets just
to the
go
moon.
up.
To the moon.
So you were just up,
yes,
up.
I was up and away.
And
to
then
the
you were like,
moon. No, and then I just crash landed on Earth and I took a fucking
crashed.
nap.
Okay.
Yeah, I did crash. It felt like I had a sugar
I mean,
crash.
we all do that though. That's the sun for you. You get out there and you're like, the sun, taking the rays. I need them. I feel so good. I'm happy.
I'm feeling insecure
and then
about
you're
something
like,
and I need to talk about it.
what can I finish my thing? And you just interrupt me all the fucking time. God, I fucking hate this bitch. Love her though.
My
Go on.
apologies. Keep going.
Well, now it's done and over with. Literally, like, but did you see that, everyone? Did you see that? I was literally in the middle of a sentence and I need to talk about something else. Okay.
I was wanting to
So
talk
I'm not
about
important. That's fine.
because you looked like you were having such a nice time, and then it reminded me of when you said like, "Why are you coming at me so hard?" And I did feel I was feeling like we're having a nice time. Like I hope she doesn't really feel like I'm coming at her, and I was feeling bad, and I'm sorry. I just wanted to have some good light fun.
It's
why
funny
are you laughing?
because I was gonna do a bit and I was gonna start crying, but then I was like, I feel I was gonna
That would have been so
I was
funny,
gonna do a bit and
actually.
start crying, and then I was like, Aubree's gonna. What if she feels like a big? I don't know. I felt like you felt bad enough already that if I did that, it would not have been. Would have taken a turn.
Should we
for the
cut that
worse.
out and actually you start crying? So I'm really sorry.
For what? You just said I'm really sorry.
The thing before I said we're going to cut all of that, so I went back to what I said so that you would start crying. I'm really sorry about that.
Well.
Are you trying to cry?
No.
You weren't even going to give a shot?
No, I will. Okay, so that's one of my biggest things with acting. Like, I can do, like, every range of emotion. But when it comes to that, it's difficult for me.
Interesting. When was the last time you cried?
Oh, I cry all the time. Like,
That
when I watch
actually
things.
makes a lot of sense.
No, but, like, I have to, like, watch something or something has to trigger it, right?
How many times a week would you say you cry?
Oh, I don't know. Like, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, when I'm getting my period, it comes out more, I guess. But, like, in between then, it's like, it depends on how busy I am. I don't really know. It depends on what I'm doing.
Okay. I think on a scale from 1 to 30 days, how many days do I cry out of the month? Given that there were 30 days in every month, but there isn't. I would say I cry. I know. Let's say how many times I cry a year. I probably cry
Okay,
6
this
times
is taking
a year.
so long. You're like, okay, well, out of every 30 days, okay. Well, out of a year, every 5
I just
years,
want my
how much
calculations
do
to
you
be
cry?
correct.
I mean, but like,
Do you want my calculations?
They could have
to
been
be
correct with 30 days.
Do you remember the last episode? You just wanted your calculations to be correct. That's exactly what I'm doing.
What
Bitch.
calculations?
Your calculations for the veneers.
All right, just tell me how many times you cry.
I told you 6 times a year, but if you were listening, you
6
would have
times
heard
a
me.
year?
That's correct.
That's it.
Yep.
Why so little?
I have a hard time crying. I think that's why it's so easy for me to cry in acting. Because I bottle it all up. And then when it's ready to come out.
Maybe. But I also feel
does.
like even though mine's deeper than that though is the thing. Like it's not, for me it's like, okay. Growing up, I don't think my dad will ever watch this, but growing up I had to like, there was a lot of yelling in my family and like scary moments, and I ended up being the one to like stand up to my father and like had to like shut off my emotions in order to do that. So like, because if I if I cried, it was like weakness. And so it made it so that like crying in front of other people, it's like my body immediately like shuts it down. Like even if I'm like, if it's like right here and it's like ready to come out, it doesn't matter. Like my body will not.
If you're in front of other people.
If I'm with other people.
But if you're by yourself, you can.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
That's sad. I'm
So-
sorry.
That's okay. But I've done a lot of work on it. I used to not even be able to talk about my father without like crying immediately.
Yeah.
Or wanting to cry immediately. But yeah, so it's like with acting, I remember working with some of my teachers on that because it was like really difficult for me to like get that, because it's just like a mental thing. It's like my mind like shuts it off, and it's like, why? Like I have so much bottled up all the time, because like who doesn't? Mm-hmm. And yeah, but then it'll come out like in 2 seconds when I watch like, are you holding my foot?
Mm-hmm.
She's so sweet. Oh. No, but it'll come out like in 2 seconds. Like I watched an episode of Chopped once and cried. It was sad. It was like
Chopped is good. They have such sentimental
I know, that was the
stories.
thing. It was like this guy doing it for his like daughter or whatever, and he kept talking about his daughter. And then, like,
okay, that's
and then
right
he
there,
won,
the
and
most
then-
triggering
no,
for you. Did you just hear your story and then the story that you told about Chopped? Come on.
I guess. No, but it was, the point was that, like, maybe, I don't know.
It's definitely connected.
But he was doing it for his daughter or whatever, and then, like, he won, and they were like, we know you're doing this for, like, I don't know, some shit where it's like, we're doing this for your daughter, fine. And they're like, well, actually, and then they brought her out. Aww. And I was like, oh.
You just lost it.
I just cried.
Yeah.
Most recently, I started watching the show Monk because I've never watched it before.
I think I've heard of this.
And I like to watch things that are like whatever while I cook and bake and stuff. And so I started watching that, and there was an episode where he, like, I don't know, wanted to potentially adopt this little boy that he, like, encountered on a case, and then he knew because of his, like, OCD and stuff, he probably wouldn't be the best father, and he, like, had to, like, give the kid to, like, the actual, like, people who were going to adopt him, and the kid was, like, kissing him, like, multiple times, like, laughing when he was, like, saying goodbye and, like, whatever. And I was, like, hysterical crying in the kitchen. I was baking, and I was just, like, crying as I was, like,
it takes blood, sweat, and tears to bake.
Like, literally. I was literally, I've
Secret
actually
recipe.
cried many times while I was baking.
Yeah. While watching something or just...
Depending, different things. But one time I remember I was doing a wedding for my friend's sister.
You're just crying because it's
and
so
I was
difficult.
like making macarons and like decorating the macarons. And I had been going through like a breakup of sorts, and like the guy was like messaging me, like, and we hadn't spoken in a few months, and like literally I'm like tears like dripping down my face, and I'm like, I have to finish this. And I'm like piping decorations on these macarons where I'm like this, and I'm like
That's so sad.
I mean, it didn't get in the food, everyone, but
that's the only reason I said that's so sad. I literally was thinking like that's so sad that the food was ruined.
You are kind of psychotic about stuff like that.
No, I am saying that's fucking sad that you're like sitting here crying while baking.
But we all have emotions, and it happens, and like I have responsibilities. I have to get it done.
That'd be
like,
a
what am I
good
supposed to
movie.
do?
That'd be a good clip in a movie. But the funny part about it, or like the weird thing about it, it would be that your tears did get in the macarons and you did serve it to the wedding. And people were like, honestly, this is
that
so
would
good.
be-
Sea salt on top.
Yeah, that would be like a freaking treat. My bodily fluids.
It would taste like sea salt, I'm sure.
It would
Tears are
probably taste
salty.
salty. I don't know, but yeah, so there's been times where I cry while baking, but I have to get it done. It's always like when I have to get it done. So it's like I just got to do it. I can't just like take time to be like whatever. But anyway, so that's the thing. It's like in acting, for some reason it just won't not for some reason. It's because I can't do it in front of people. There's only like one of my friends who I've like straight up cried in front of, and it's like my best friend since college, and we had gotten into this like a little tiff type thing, like because I don't know, whatever, it was just stupid, but like like I remember like breaking down and just being like telling her how much like I care about her and I don't want to like feel this way with her, and then she started crying, and it was like a whole like cry fest. But yeah, but I've known her, that took like 15 years for that to happen, for me to cry in front of her.
Have you ever had a therapist that you cried in front of?
Yeah. But it's not like there wasn't like an easy thing. Actually, the most recent, people are going to be like, this girl is sad and pathetic. But no, the most recent was...
I would say the opposite, to be honest. Sad and pathetic?
No, based on the next story I'm going to tell you. But
okay.
No, I actually had this male therapist. I decided to try a male therapist because I was like, I have all these issues with men because of my father and like whatever. And so I was like, maybe that would help, right? Like having like some figure in my life I can like trust as a man. And so I got this male therapist, and we like got along. Actually, at first we kind of like fought. Like we kind of like, because we're both very strong-willed and like we're clashing, but then we like talked it out and like fixed it, and it was like good. And then I remember I was like kind of seeing this guy at the time, and he like wasn't treating me not like bad, but he wasn't like being what I needed him to be, and like whatever, and making me feel like shitty and like whatever, because he wasn't like putting the effort in. And I remember like telling my therapist about this guy, and he said, you know what, Jacqui? He's like, if you were my daughter, like, and this man was treating you that way, and he like went on this whole like tangent about like what he would do, I literally started hysterical crying. And like, But I think that was like a breakthrough for me. And I was like probably the first breakthrough I've ever really had in therapy, where I realized that like I have so many people in my life that care about me and who love me, and I have a great family. And like, yes, I had traumatic childhood in some ways and like whatever, but I never like doubt that my father loves me, you know? But at the same time, it's like, I don't think I've ever felt loved, if that makes sense. It's like, I logically know, but I don't.
You mean felt loved as in like you never felt like someone loved you?
Yeah, by like from like the male species, you know, like I've never had that, I feel.
Yeah.
And so like in that moment, it was like him protecting me and wanting to like, it just like wasn't something I'd ever experienced. And I felt like I missed out on, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was like a thing. But yeah, so like, I mean, I have a lot of things I could pick up to be like, okay, I need to cry in acting. Let's like think about this moment. But my body just shuts it down. So it's something I need to like work on. But I will say recently I've added grief to my list, like true grief, because my cat passed last year. So I feel like if I were to like just think about that, I'd probably cry in like a second. So
That's good.
is it?
Well, it's good that you're able to like trigger it to get it out, because it is good to get it out. You shouldn't be
Yeah.
holding it in.
I mean, well, like in that situation, like I've never, I don't think I've never cried so hard in my life when that I had to put her down, and like that was in front of my mom and my stepmom, and my stepmom started.
That's different though.
No, of course that's different, but it was still like, I mean, that wasn't something I could control. Like that was like pure grief. But I remember my stepmom was like crying because I was crying so intensely, and it was so sad. It's hard to see people go through grief, you know?
Oh yeah.
Because like a family dog passed. He wasn't he was my stepmom and her kid's dog, and obviously I knew him for years, but he passed, and I had to drive my stepsister to the vet to like meet them, and like they were all like sob. It was like, and so then I'm sitting there hysterical crying because they're hysterical crying, and it was just,
I don't know what I'm gonna do.
I know, that's
If
always
Wiggy
how I
dies.
felt with my cat. Her name was Baby. It's always how I felt, and I was like, what am I gonna do? Like, you know, and then you have to do it.
Oh God, my life will never be the same.
It's really tough. And actually, apparently Time Magazine, I think it was, just put out an article about like the grief of losing a pet. And like my stepmom showed it to me, and she's like, I thought this would be something you'd want to read. And like,
Were you like, I don't know if I'm ready for that?
No, I think it's good. I think I am ready for that, but I don't know. I have to like be in the mood to want to read that and like feel those feelings. Cause like sometimes it's like, there are moments where I'm like, I start to think about her and like whatever, and then I always flash. It's like, I feel like it's a form of trauma in itself, like putting a pet down, because it's like, they're literally like in, like I am holding her in her last, you know, it's like I can't even talk about it, I'll cry, but
No. I'm so
don't do that, because now it's gonna actually make me cry.
Sorry.
Okay,
I know it's hard.
Don't do that.
It's okay. That was your baby.
Sorry. I know it's hard.
We can cut all of this out. I mean, you said it yourself. When it comes to her, you can't control it.
No, I can't.
15 years is such a long time
Yeah.
to be with.
But it's also just like the trauma of having her, you know, like the last moments. So sometimes I'll be thinking, like, those thoughts will come to my head, and I'm like, I can't, like, I have to like shut it down real quick. Otherwise I know, like, because I'm like, I don't have time to like sit here and like be in these feelings, like when I have to do things, you know? And it's like,
If I may ask, how long do you feel like you were like in that grief state after losing her?
I don't know. I mean, the thing is like last year was a really, like, probably I would say 2023 was like the worst year of my life. A lot happened, and like a lot of loss, not just like my cat, but like other people and things. And so I was really depressed last year, like more so than I've ever been in my life. And my mom is a therapist, and like I had a therapist at the time, and they both thought it was like an adjustment disorder, which is like when so many like things happen all at once, like your body like heightens it tenfold and makes it so that like
Jeez, yeah.
Like, because I remember thinking and like telling my mom, and like, I'm so sad, but like it doesn't fit, like this isn't like I shouldn't be this level of sad, right? And so that's like what an adjustment disorder is, right? It's like the chemicals in your brain are just so fucked up that like it's too much, right? And so so I like had to go stay with my stepmom and my mom for like, I don't know why I said it like that. I had to go stay with my mom's for like a few months because I was like, I can't be in my apartment, because it was just like I had lost my job and like, you know, whatever. And it was just like all day, every day I was like by myself, just in that, like I would like go to jujitsu to try and like get my mind off it and like get some endorphins going, and like I would literally be fighting back tears. And so
Fuck, man.
yeah, it sucked. And then I went home, and my moms would be like, we're going to this art fair, come on. And I was like, I don't want to. And they're like, you're coming. And I was like, so I'd like walk around the art fair like a fucking zombie, like just like not smiling, nothing, and like whatever. But yeah, and then eventually, like, you know, like I came out of it, but like that, it was like every time I was like almost coming out of it, like something else happened, and it was like, you know what I mean? And so that was,
felt like it was making things worse.
yeah. And so that was like another thing, like losing, cause she had cancer. So it was like, I was already I had so much anxiety and depression over like just taking care of her and like getting her the treatment she needed and all that. And then like at the end of the day, it was like a rare form of cancer that like, even though no matter what we did, it just like.
She also lived a really good life. 15 years old is a long time, right?
For cats, it's average for cats, but yeah, so like.
I know this isn't the same, but I was in Paris for a month, and I was so depressed. Not only because I wasn't working and I wasn't getting a bunch of castings, but because it felt to me as though there was no reason to wake up in the morning if I don't have my dog. I couldn't take him out. I couldn't feed him. There was nothing excited to look at me towards going outside or getting food or getting a treat or going for a walk, whatever it was, like cuddling. I didn't have anyone to fucking lay with at night. Like I just felt so sad. Like some of my journals over there that I took to Paris with me, I was writing every day in Paris, and like I can't even look at them because like the things that I was writing are just so bad. And I remember I wrote something like, I've never in my life missed picking up shit more than I do right now. Like what I would do to just get a bag and pick up some shit to remind myself there's shit all over Paris. I should have.
Pop a squat.
But I was just so sad without him, and like I can't imagine how. I mean, I'm one day I will imagine. I'll know what it feels like, but
yeah.
Fuck that.
No, it is. It's tough, and it's like grief in any sense is really hard, and like, but I feel like some people don't really understand, like, unless they've had a pet, like
that's
they don't
their
understand.
Own.
Yeah, that's their own pet. Like they don't understand like the true grief, because that animal's with you all the time.
Yeah,
like that's your animal. They rely on you. Like,
yeah, my childhood dogs growing up, Mia and Aziza. I remember when I was a kid, I would just sit in bed, look at them and cry because I knew that they were going to die one day. And then as I got older, and so did they, and I moved out of the house, you know, I didn't feed them every day. I went outside to the backyard to pick up their dog shit. But like we would cuddle sometimes, but they were primarily my parents' dogs.
Right.
And so when they passed away, I wasn't super
same.
sad.
Like with
my parents were devastated.
Yeah. But no, same. Like with my childhood pets and stuff, it wasn't like
so much, you know, but when it's your animal, it's like different.
Yeah.
And there's like a guilt factor, right? Like I felt like I failed her and like by putting her down and like
Fuck.
even though like it was the right choice and whatever, but it's just like, you know, I don't know. There's just so much that goes into it and it's like terrible. I remember this like years ago, this series somebody did like, I don't remember who it was, but it was like this series on, he did like a photography series on people's last moments with their pets, and it was like just looking at those freaking pictures, I was bawling my eyes out. And this is before my cat died. Like anything with animals, it gets me. Marley and me, sobbing.
I can't.
Sobbing.
I can't.
No, like I
thanks.
can't. Anytime there's anything with an animal, like even like the Fox and the Hound, like the
remember
Disney
that
movie.
For
like,
me, it's like Bambi.
Oh yeah,
A
true.
fucking animated.
But the Fox and the Hound is the like at one point, like whatever the human, it has to like tell the dog to go away or whatever and like leave the dog or whatever it is, and it's like I can't, like that shit breaks my heart. Like when I think about, like I read stories on like foster accounts about people who left their animals and the animals are so sad. I'm like, I'm crying. Like I can't.
We have to be there for MK when she.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pluto, he was over here yesterday or the day before.
Was it
yesterday?
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. He was over here yesterday. He was going back and forth to the door, like crying because he wanted her. Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah. We have to wrap this up because speaking of MK, we got to go get cookies. So thanks for coming.
Ice cream, but.
And thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure to like and subscribe.
Really serious ep, everyone.
Yeah.
We have levels.
We do. We do have levels, many levels from 0 to 100. Okay. We out.
And beyond.
Bye.
Bye.